Hey, family. Hey, hey. Welcome on in. Welcome on in to the OGs. Welcome back to the newbies. Welcome on in this thing. And I'm glad to have you here. If you are new, my name is Nettie. I channel messages from Spirit in a number of fashions. And what you get is whatever Spirit is leading me to on the day, the Spirit is leading me to it. So today will be no different. I'm not a religious person. Sometimes scripture comes out. Whatever messages fit you, take them for yourself. If they do not fit you, do not take them. Do not force anything to fit if it does not fit your situation. So, that said, I hope everybody is doing fantabulous because I am. I am having the time of my life over here, and everything is great. Everything is wonderful. Everything is marvelous and continuing to get better. Listen, in a hot little second, I'm just gonna need a clone. I'm gonna feel so good. Anyway, I hope it's going exceptional for you. I do. Make the best of your life. Do all the things that nurture you and that are pleasure to your soul. It it's a whole different lived experience when you make sure that you're enjoying it. Um, that said, I was exploring. I was on my park adventure this morning, and Spirit was giving me some downloads as I was walking through. And Spirit wants me to make you aware that you are, or really, for you to consider your cell phone. And it's not just any old consideration for your cell phone, but that you are, or this the cell phone is a symbology or symbolic of you, the individual. And in the way that when you think about your cell phone, it's just this container. It's a container full of information and apps. And it does things that are really remarkable, actually. It's not for nothing that they call it a smartphone. And we won't necessarily get into how that's progressed over the years, but even that is symbolic of you, the human being. So, with the cell phone, there's a lot of information inside of it. There's a lot of great information. There's a lot of not so great information. It's just so vast in its nature, just like you. But Spirit was wanting to get into the detail of how great that is for you. And it has less to do with the cell phone than it has to do with you. It has more to do with you because this meat suit, this flesh is just a container, and it houses all that is you. Some of those components are the human aspect, and others of those components are the spirited aspect. When you're dealing with your cell phone, it's really kind of like magic. You just put something in there, or you hit and open an app, and you have a world of just different things, just different information. There are apps for everything. But Spirit is wanting you to see yourself similarly, but more powerful. The phone holds a lot of information, as do you, but the information that you have is so much more than the phone has. In fact, all of us as collective have given the internet and the apps all of the information that it has access to. It all came from individuals, all of us as the collective. And you have access to this collective knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but it has nothing to do with the internet. All of it is on frequency, all of it is energy, and you possess all of those same frequencies, all of the same energy you have access to. You don't ever have to go to your phone to be able to have access to the answers that you need, except that we do. We often use the phone and, oh, thank you. It is beneficial in many ways, but the Spirit is saying it is a pacifier. And in that way, it pacifies the desire for knowledge without you ever having to go to the source. The internet is not the source. It pacifies you and keeps you from having to go to the source within to get the information, the esoteric and ancient wisdom and knowledge that you require. And when I'm saying ancient and esoteric, it's not necessarily ancestral or older knowledge, wisdom, and information, even though that is some of it. It's not necessarily older, it's just infinite. And in that way, there is nothing new under the sun, is what I'm hearing. And because there is nothing new under the sun, nothing that is occurring is new. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so I was going somewhere completely different, but Spirit got me together right there. Um, yeah, all of the information is inside of you, and Spirit brings it to your awareness at the time that you need it when you go inside to get it. Just like your phone won't be doing anything on its own until you do something to access it, whether it be speak to it, whether it be, use your facial recognition to open it, whether it be your biometric, to whatever biometric or whatever way you open and access your phone to give it directive. It doesn't do anything without directive. It has the capacity to. This spirited realm is the same way. All of the largest part of you is spirit. And when you unlock this container, you have full access to everything that you need, but it won't do anything for you unless you unlock it, unless you go in to access all of the wisdom, knowledge, and information that is within. All of it is within. You are so much more powerful than you ever truly know. Yeah, so that's the first part of the message. The next time, well, I'm gonna say the next time you get on your phone, but you're on your phone probably right now watching this. But consider all that your spirit, all that your spirit does. Consider all that your spirit does in reference and as a parallel to your cell phone and all it does. Spirit is saying, look at that closely and use it as your guiding light in a sense where you need the assistance. The telephone, the cell phone is a container. This flesh is a container. The apps are different sectors of knowledge and information where you may need it to access individualized information. You have the same measure of compartmentalized information, wisdom, and knowledge within yourself at different frequencies. And you can access all that you need from within on those frequencies at the point you begin to align with them, at the point you access them. With your cell phone, you can't get in without putting in your code or your biometric to open it. With your flesh suit, accessing the spirit, you cannot access the spirit unless you put in the code, the biometric. But as soon as you get in, you in like playing. Some of y'all might be able to, some of y'all might have heard that before, but you in there. And there is, once you're in your cell phone, there isn't a piece of information except that is on time and right on target from spirit that you cannot access. It's so interesting that even that spirit will send you the necessary message through the frequency that you have accessed when you haven't accessed it in yourself by way of your cell phone. The algorithms on these social media platforms that we're on, spirit will sync you with the frequency of the message that you need to hear in that algorithm. You have an internal algorithm as well. And just like you build your algorithm on the social media platforms, you have to build the algorithm at which you function and at what frequencies you function in spirit. You actually have, you just need to do some fine tuning more toward higher frequency and higher vibrational algorithmic matches, is what I'm hearing. You've been synced up and aligned and in frequency with things that aren't as beneficial to you as those high vibrational, multi-dimensional awarenesses that are necessary to these places in your life going forward. Listen, you have all access. You are a multi-dimensional being full of infinite wisdom. You got to tap in to be able to access, and what was coming out was answer it. That was what was coming out as I was trying to say access it, answer it. There's always a call. There's always a call. Your spirit is always calling you to higher and greater and better and bigger. It never does stop. In fact, it only gets louder. Consider that majority of people, the older they get, they turn to religion. You ever notice that? And Spirit told me the reason for that is because their spirit is calling, that inner voice is calling them higher. But the only way people resonate with higher is through religion, when they're not taught the ways of different um, access points that are not religion, spirituality. That is why. Think about it. It is in majority of people's mind that they'll change when they get older, or they'll begin to go to church when they get older, because their understanding of spirituality is connected to religion and church. Think about that. It has nothing to do with church or religion, actually. It's just the only point of reference that majority of people have with spirituality. That is where they get a glimpse of power and access. Anyway, you might be able to tell the light is dimming. So I'll leave you with that message, with this message. There go the sirens. Sirens come through when it's a really significant message. Alert, alert. And yeah, I'll leave you this message in love and in light, only and always. Until next time. Holla.